Attract abundance using only affirmations, but no one told me what would come next. My name is Emily, and until a few months ago, I was just another 16-year-old trying to survive in a tiny apartment with my mom. You know that feeling that no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? That's how I felt every morning when I woke up. "Emily, the electricity bill has arrived," Mom would whisper, trying to hide the worry in her voice. I already knew what that meant. Another month we would have to choose between paying the electricity or buying enough food. "How much this time, Mom?" $2.47. $50. And there's still the overdue rent. My routine was exhausting. I woke up at 5:30 a.m., made a simple coffee, when we had coffee, and got ready for school. The thrift store clothes were already faded, but it was what we had. In the cracked bathroom mirror, I tried to smile, but my tired eyes betrayed the sleepless nights. "Will you be able to work overtime today?" my mom asked as she adjusted her cleaning uniform. "I'll try, Mom. Tom said I could stay later at the diner today." After school, I rushed to my part-time job. I cleaned tables, served sodas, smiled at grumpy customers. $7.25 an hour, plus a few tips when I was lucky. Every penny mattered. One night, coming home, I found our neighbor, Mrs. Martinez, in the hallway. She was picking up some boxes we had left in the hallway, our frustrated attempt to organize the tiny apartment. "Emily, dear, you look so tired," she commented, her eyes filled with compassion. "I'm fine, Mrs. Martinez, just a busy day," I replied, forcing a smile. But I wasn't fine. That night, sitting on the floor of my room, we didn't have money for a proper bed, so I slept on a mattress. I looked at the bills scattered around me. Red due date notices seemed to scream. $850 in overdue rent, $247. $50 for electricity, $125 for water, $180 for groceries. The numbers danced in front of me like a cruel joke. "Mom," I called softly, seeing her fold old uniforms, "do you think this will ever change?" She paused, her hands trembling slightly. "It has to change, sweetheart. But for now, we have each other." That night, lying on the thin mattress, looking at the peeling ceiling, I wondered how many other people were in the same situation. How many other teenagers were carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders? How many other dreams were suffocated by overdue bills and empty refrigerators? This is the most you can have. That's what the world seemed to be telling me. And at that moment, with $32.47 in the bank and a future that seemed more distant by the day, I almost believed it. It was just another one of those nights when exhaustion weighed so heavily that I couldn't even sleep. Lying on the thin mattress, I scrolled through my old phone with the cracked screen, my only distraction after a double shift at the diner. "Hey, you! Ever wondered why some people seem to attract abundance naturally?" The soft voice of the digital influencer caught my attention. Normally, I would scroll past, but something made me stop. The secret is in positive affirmations. In reprogramming your mind to attract what you desire, she continued, her eyes shining with a conviction that intrigued me. I sat up on the mattress, turning the volume down so I wouldn't wake my mom who was sleeping in the next room. The influencer explained how simple phrases, repeated with intention, could reshape our reality. "Change your words, change your life," she said with such certainty that she almost convinced me. The next morning, while making our thin coffee, I tried an affirmation, "I am prosperous. Money flows easily to me." "Talking to yourself, Emily?" my mom asked, entering the kitchen. "Just testing something I saw online," I replied, half embarrassed. At least it doesn't cost anything, she said, shrugging. That phrase from my mom kept ringing in my head. Really, what did I have to lose? During my break at work, I locked myself in the staff bathroom and opened the video again. Start by writing your affirmations. Feel each word as if it's already real, the influencer explained. I grabbed a napkin from the diner and wrote, trembling, I attract infinite opportunities. Abundance finds me easily. Emily, your break is over, shouted my supervisor. I'll be right there. I replied, quickly tucking the napkin into my uniform pocket. For the rest of the day, between serving burgers and cleaning tables, those words echoed in my mind. It was strange, but I felt different. As if I had discovered a secret door that had always been there, waiting to be opened. Does this really work? I asked my reflection in the staff bathroom mirror at the end of my shift. Words don't pay bills, the skeptical part of me argued. But another part, one I didn't know, whispered, what if it works? That night, before going to sleep, I looked at the stack of bills on the kitchen table. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel that familiar tightness in my chest. Instead, I felt a small spark of hope. After all, as the influencer said, be what you wish to be now. And I wished, more than anything, to be free. A week after starting with the affirmations, I was feeling more and more ridiculous. Sitting on the floor of my room, looking at the paper where I had written, I am abundant, prosperous, and successful, I couldn't help but let out a bitter laugh. Who are you trying to fool? I whispered to myself. The bank statement in front of me showed a negative balance, and the notifications of overdue bills kept coming on my phone. Emily, you're going to be late again, my mom shouted from the hallway. I'm on my way, I replied, quickly hiding the paper with the affirmations under the mattress. On my way to work, I tried to mentally repeat, money flows easily to me. But every time I passed a store window, every product I couldn't buy seemed to mock my words. Hey, dreamer. Miguel, my coworker, poked me during the shift. Still believing in that positive thinking stuff? I don't know what you're talking about, I replied defensively, feeling my cheeks burn. I saw you writing those phrases during break. Look, Emily, if you want to improve your life, you need something real, not magic words. His words hit me like a punch in the stomach. That night, lying in bed, doubts consumed me. It was as if two voices were fighting in my head. You're wasting your time, one said. But what if it works, insisted the other. The next morning, I woke up earlier than usual. I sat on the edge of the bed and grabbed the crumpled paper with my affirmations. This is crazy, I murmured, but still, I started to read it out loud. Honey, who are you talking to? My mom asked, stopping at the door. Mom, do you believe we can change our lives just with thoughts? She sighed, sitting next to me. Emily, we need real money, not dreams. That night, I cried holding my pillow. Not because of the harshness of my mom's words or the teasing at work, but because, despite all the doubts, something inside me refused to give up. It was like a small flame that, no matter how hard everyone tried to extinguish it, kept burning. Maybe I am really crazy, I thought, but I'd rather be crazy trying to change than sensible living like this forever. That Saturday afternoon, after my extra shift, I passed by the used book fair. Normally, I would have walked straight by, after all, every penny counted. But something made me stop. Looking for something specific, dear? Asked an elderly lady, organizing a pile of books. Actually, no. I replied, but my eyes were already scanning the makeshift shelves. That's when I saw it, a small navy blue notebook, a bit worn at the edges. On the cover, in slightly faded golden letters, I read, "Words create worlds." "How much is it?" I asked, trying to disguise my interest. "For you?" $2, she smiled. "This notebook has been waiting for the right person." I took the coins from my pocket, feeling a mix of guilt and excitement. It was money I could use for the bus, but something told me it was worth it. At home, I sat on the edge of the bed and opened the notebook. The pages were blank, except for one single phrase on the first page, "Write as if it's already real." "Okay," I whispered to myself, picking up a pen. "Let's try this." I started to write. Today I received an amazing job offer. My new salary allows me to pay all my bills and still save. I feel a deep peace when I see my bank account. "Emily, dinner's ready," my mom called. "I'll be right there," I replied, but I kept writing, the words flowing naturally. Every night, after my mom went to bed, I would turn on my phone's flashlight and write. They weren't just random affirmations anymore, they were detailed stories of the life I wanted to create. "Dear notebook," I wrote one night, "today I woke up without that weight on my chest." I opened my emails and saw 3 job offers. I chose the one that suits me best, and the salary is exactly what I needed. It was strange, but the more I wrote, the more real everything felt. As if every word were a seed planted in the garden of my future. "Emily, you're different," Miguel commented at work. "More confident." I smiled, thinking of the notebook hidden under my pillow. Let's just say I've found a new way to see things. At night, before going to sleep, I reread my stories. They were no longer just words on paper, they were possibilities, doors opening. And for the first time, I felt like I was really talking to the universe, in a language only we understood. The first signs appeared so subtly that I almost didn't notice. It was an ordinary Tuesday when I opened the electricity bill, already preparing for the worst, and found a $50 discount for loyal customer. "Mom, look at this," I exclaimed, showing her the bill. "How strange," she replied, adjusting her glasses. "I've never seen this before." That same week, during my shift at the diner, a gentleman in a suit ordered just a coffee. As I served him, he said, "You know, young lady, your smile reminded me of my daughter." When he left, I found a $100 tip under the saucer. My hands trembled as I tucked the money into my pocket. "This doesn't happen," Miguel commented, astonished. "We don't even get that much in a whole month." That night, sitting with my blue notebook, I wrote, "Opportunities find me naturally. Money flows to me in unexpected ways." On Sunday, my former boss from the library called me, "Emily, we have a part-time position organizing the collection. I thought of you. How much does it pay?" I asked, trying to contain my excitement. $15 an hour, on weekends." I accepted right away. It was less tiring than the diner and paid better. That night, I looked at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. "It's working," I whispered to myself. "It's really working." During the following weeks, small victories kept appearing. A special discount at the grocery store, a flash sale on my phone bill, I even found $20 on the street. "Honey, you seem different," my mom commented during dinner. "More light." I smiled, thinking about how to explain. "You know, Mom, sometimes we need to believe before we see." She looked at me confused, but I noticed a different sparkle in her eyes. Maybe she was also starting to realize that something was changing. At work, I began to dream bigger. While I cleaned the tables, I envisioned my own business. During breaks, I researched online courses and opportunities. The universe is listening to me, I wrote in my notebook that night. Every little victory is a sign. And now I know I can dream even bigger. For the first time in years, I slept without worrying about tomorrow. The changes were still small, but something inside me knew, this was just the beginning. I was organizing the books in the library when Mrs. Thompson, the coordinator, approached with a blue pamphlet in her hands. "Emily, do you still write? I remember your impressive texts in high school." I thought of my blue notebook at home. "Yes, I still write. There's a national essay contest. The prize is a full scholarship with a monthly stipend of $2,000. My heart raced. It was exactly the amount I had written in my notebook 3 months ago. "The theme is, how I see my future," she continued. "The deadline is in 2 weeks. That night, I sat down with my special notebook. The words flowed like never before. My future is not just a distant dream, it is a reality I build every day. Each morning I wake up knowing I can create the life I want." "Still awake, daughter?" my mom asked as she walked into the room. "Mom, remember when you said we needed real money, not dreams? What if I told you that dreams can turn into real money?" She sat on the edge of my bed, reading the first paragraphs. "Emily, this is different. There's something new in you." The next 2 weeks were intense. I rewrote the essay dozens of times, pouring into it all the strength of my daily affirmations. 3 months later, my phone rang during work. "Emily. This is from the National Scholarship Commission." My hands shook so much that I almost dropped the phone. "We are pleased to inform you that your essay was the national winner." I sat on the diner floor, tears streaming down. Miguel ran to me. "Emily. Are you okay?" "I did it," I whispered. "I really did it." That night, my mom and I hugged each other crying in the kitchen. "How did you know this was going to happen?" she asked. I showed her my blue notebook, the pages worn from use. "I didn't know, Mom. I created it." Flipping through the pages, she found an entry from months ago. "Today I received the news that changed my life. An opportunity for $2,000 a month appeared, allowing me to study and help my mom." "But this is exactly what happened," she murmured, astonished. "Yes," I replied, smiling through tears. "Because words create worlds, Mom. And I finally learned the right language." Today, sitting in the college library, I opened my old blue notebook. The pages are yellowed, some even stained with coffee, but each word still carries the same energy of hope. "How's the new life?" Miguel asked, sitting next to me during his campus visit. "Different from what I imagined," I replied, smiling. "Better. I remember you in that diner, always writing in that notebook." "What were you writing so much?" I ran my fingers over the worn cover. "I was writing the future I wanted to live. And you know what's amazing? It wasn't just the money that changed." "What do you mean?" "Look, before, I woke up thinking about bills, about problems. Now I wake up thinking about possibilities. It's like I swapped out the lenses in my glasses." My mom noticed this too. The other day, during dinner, she said, "Emily, do you remember when we paid the bills crying?" "I remember, Mom. And I remember you saying that dreams don't pay bills." She took my hand across the table. "You proved me wrong. Dreams can pay bills, when we believe in them enough." On the last page of my notebook, I wrote yesterday, the true manifestation wasn't the scholarship money. It was discovering that I can create any reality I choose to believe in. A freshman approached my table in the library. Are you Emily? The one who won the national scholarship? Yes, that's me. How did you do it? She asked, her eyes shining. I smiled, remembering myself a few months ago. I started by writing a different story for my life. You know that voice inside you that says something is impossible? I learned to respond, watch. Today, when I look back, I see that every word I wrote was a brick in the construction of my present. It wasn't magic, it was persistence, it was believing when everything said to give up. Emily, my mom called me last night. I found this in your old papers. It was a past due electric bill from months ago. On the back, I had written, one day, I will look at this and smile, knowing it was just a chapter, not the end of the story. And here I am, smiling, because that Emily who secretly wrote in the diner was right. She just didn't know she was manifesting much more than money, she was manifesting courage, strength, and, most importantly, faith in herself. For you who are listening to this now, take a blank sheet. Start your story. The universe is waiting for your words. If this story inspired you, leave a like to support the channel, share in the comments what you would like to manifest in your life, and subscribe so you don't miss more exciting content like this. Activate the bell and start writing your own future today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.